Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Watchdogs. My name is Trey.
My name is Chris.
We are the console freaks, and in the previous episode, we killed Default. For what reason, Chris?
So that we could change our preferences to whatever we wanted. Because, you know,
Because I needed to change the background on my phone, and Default wouldn't let me.
Yep. Because
If I want fluffy puppies, I can have fluffy puppies.
Anyways, this is a short episode.
So, what
And
kind of
that's
background do
exciting
you have
for
on your
us.
phone?
Because that just means we get this done quicker. So what are we doing this episode, Trey?
We are doing stuff. They finally analyzed the audio from the previous episode. Or was it the episode before the previous episode? Who knows? But the audio from where Damien had him call his sister.
Mm-hmm.
So he could figure out where his sister was, and they finally figured out. So now we're going to his sister.
We actually going to save this broad?
So we can finally save this broad. This is what we live for.
God only knows she's not doing anything.
And Chris, we have a really long ride ahead of us. Because it's across the whole map right now.
So Trey, in the past game, or last episode, you said that you were playing through Metroid Fusion, correct?
Yes.
What do you think of the Metroid series?
I really like it. End of topic.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
What
No,
Metroid games have you played?
The only one I've actually played all the way through, not all the way through because I didn't even finish it. The only Metroid game I've actually played was Fusion. I really haven't played any of the other ones.
You were doing this to me on purpose, aren't you?
Yes. This is why I do it. Any game I can do this on, I will do it.
Please don't.
Just because we're friends. But yeah, the only Metroid game I've ever actually sat down and played because I wanted to play it was Metroid Fusion. For the Game Boy?
Advanced.
Game Boy Advanced. Game Boy Advanced SP.
SD portables.
SD. But yeah, that was the only one I actually.
Did you see
actually
what
sat down and
that
played.
the side of that bridge just smacked you in the face and said, "Get in your lane."
Pretty much. It really did knock me over there too.
Just like perfect. It didn't even like send you sideways or anything. It just nudged you over.
Yeah. But which one of the Metroid games was your favorite, or the ones that you've played is your favorite?
I've played quite a few actually. You know,
Showed that light post. He was boss.
just knocked my mic. I liked Super Metroid pretty good.
Yep.
I liked Fusion pretty good. I played a lot of Prime 1 and Hunters. Just because those were, those were just kind of the thing. I'd actually have to say either Fusion or Super Metroid were my favorites, because I think the first Metroid game that I actually played was Metroid Fusion.
Yep.
I played it probably seven years ago, something like that. I played it a while ago. And I sat down, like, it wasn't... I didn't really think much of it at first, and then, like, it started incorporating the whole SAX thing more and more.
Yeah.
And I was getting really tense because of it, and I couldn't understand why, from a handheld game, that I was getting that tense. And, for a handheld game to give me that kind of experience, it was interesting.
Yeah.
So
now the SAX, that's the
Samus.
The other
it's
Samus.
It's
right.
the her Variasuit, basically Ghost.
Gotcha. Now which one is the first person one?
That's the Prime series.
How did you like that? Just it being in first person.
I didn't mind. It was kind of blow for blow for me, because there were parts that I really liked. Oh, he's dead.
She just shot the man in the chest without thinking.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Oh, he's dead.
Set former boss on fire?
Well, this guy deserved it.
Yeah, he had it coming. Anyways. So, you know, with... I forgot what I was going to say.
I believe in you.
Welcome to Console Freaks, where we have stuff to say sometimes. Maybe.
Look at that. Look at that. Did you see that?
Yep.
You see how I did that? I'm impressed. I'm happy with myself.
Okay. Metroid Prime.
Yep.
Like, there were parts of it that I really liked and then parts that I didn't. I didn't like how it felt like the way you were shooting. Like, I didn't like how I don't know. I'm so used to it being like a 2D. I guess let me gather my thoughts here. You threw me off with this question, Trey.
You're welcome.
So, Watchdogs, this thing is happening. Quit whining.
She's scared. Would you be scared in this situation?
Quit whining.
Now,
okay, real quick.
Yep.
I gathered my thoughts here for a minute. Metroid Prime. My biggest problem with it is that I was so used to, at that point, Metroid being a side-scrolling platform shooter.
Yep.
You know, along the lines of like Mega Man or something. I was so used to it behaving like that Metroid Prime, it took me a little bit to get used to because I just wasn't used to 3D platforming. I wasn't used, especially not in third person or in first person. I wasn't used to, you know, a Metroid game behaving like that. So that was my biggest problem with it. Go ahead.
All right. Actually, now that you mentioned 3D platforming, what was your first 3D platforming game that you've played?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a platforming game, a 3D game with platforming elements.
Or like a game that has 3D platforming in it.
Spyro Year of the Dragon was the first game I ever played. That was that kind of 3D. That it was a 3D plane. You had some platforming elements and some combat and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's probably mine too.
Really, Spyro 3?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Look at that. She don't want to listen. She don't want to listen.
Go quickly.
She don't want to listen. That was the only problem I had with this mission. Really, was her not wanting to listen to me as I told her what to do. She's stupid. Like right here, I was thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna get caught because she ran over there like an idiot. Although I told her to go over there, but still.
Now, in the manner of 3D platforming games, aside from Spyro, which ones have you played?
I'd say, well, of course, I just had it in my head. Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio Future. Was it Future? I don't remember. Super Mario 64. Of course, although everybody's played that. And if you haven't played that, then what the heck is wrong with you? What? Seriously. But, what other ones? I'm trying to think of what other ones are there that I've played. Let it go. Let it go. I'm sorry.
I played one of the first ones that I played the first one that I played was Spyro.
Yep.
And then like shortly after that, when I finally got a PS2, because I actually didn't get a PS1 until the end of its life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Probably actually until after the PS2 was released. But one of the first games that I got on the PS2 was Jak and Daxter, the first one.
Yep.
And
would Sly Cooper count as one?
Yeah.
Okay, well that would be one as well that I've played.
Have you played any Ratchet and Clank games?
Not a lot, but yeah. Like I never really played it enough to get into it, but I like played it whenever I was like over at a friend's house or something like that. Yeah.
I think
never actually
we
owned
have
the
the
game.
same friends we were talking about, because I was about to mention, like, I actually borrowed it from a friend.
Yep.
And I borrowed Up Your Arsenal, Going Commando, and Deadlocked.
Yep.
All three of them, like, at the same time. And I just started playing through them. And the first two didn't really... Well, they're not necessarily the first two in the series, but the first two that I mentioned didn't really appeal to me as much. But playing Deadlocked, I freaking loved that game so much. I absolutely spent so much time in it.
I'm trying to think of what's the most hours you've ever spent in the game.
Oh Lord! Like in a single game?
Yep.
Huh. I'd say I'd have to. Oh, hands down, easily. Dissidia, Final Fantasy Dissidia,
yeah.
the first one. I logged over 300 hours into that game,
Oh my gosh,
leveling everybody up and getting all of the things.
that is amazing.
That is the most hours I've ever put in a game.
Well, this is the end of this episode, though, guys.
All right.
We will
nice.
see you in the next one.
Yes.
Goodbye.